Good morning, everyone. We are on day one of our clean eating challenge. So, today I want to talk to you guys about 10 clean eating principles. So, the 10 principles that are going to help you with clean eating and knowing how to follow a clean eating diet and how to make it really a lifestyle in your life, because that's what this is all about, is being able to make this a lifestyle for you, something that will work for you and help you throughout your whole life instead of just one of those bad diets that fade over time. So, the first clean eating principle is to eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. So you're wanting to eat small meals, 5 to 6 of them, instead of 3 of those huge meals. The reason for this is it really drives your metabolism and makes your metabolism speed up. So your body knows that it's going to get that food and that energy, so it's going to be able to burn it more efficiently, and it's going to be able to speed up your metabolism rather than trying to save that energy for 5 hours instead of 3 hours. So that's your first clean eating principles. Eat those 5 to 6 small meals a day to drive your metabolism. The second principle is going to be you need to eat breakfast within 1 hour of rising. So when you wake up, you want to be able to eat your breakfast within 1 hour. This is going to help your body to be able to, when it wakes up, also drive your metabolism, because it's going to be able to get that energy that it needs to really get your metabolism going. One really great breakfast option for me is, well, I have a couple. So one is oatmeal. Oatmeal is going to really keep your body full longer and keep you satisfied. So it's full of plant fibers that are going to really stick to you and keep your body satisfied. Another one, and with that, it's great to have your oatmeal and add maybe some honey, some raw agave, add some berries on top. My favorite one lately is to put apples, a little bit of raw honey or like raw maple syrup, pure maple syrup, and then sprinkle on some coconut or some almonds, some sliced almonds or something like that. So that's my favorite lately. Next is, of course, my Shakeology. Shakeology is your healthiest meal of the day. You let me know if you are interested in trying it if you haven't already, but it is full of over 70 superfoods, whole foods that are just ground up, that are going to really feed your body the nutrients that it needs so that it feels satisfied, so that you're not feeling empty calories, but you're really giving your body things that you couldn't give your body otherwise. Those superfoods that we just don't have access to, that are in Shakeology, that are not anywhere else. So yeah, you want to eat that breakfast within 1 hour of rising. Your third clean eating principle is you want your last meal to be 3 hours before you plan to go to bed. So you want to make sure that your body has time to use up that energy that it's getting instead of just storing it as fat. So you're able to still be active or doing something for those 3 hours so that your body knows that it can burn that energy. So you need to, another thing is, this helps you to really recognize true hunger versus emotional hunger. And if you're like me, you struggle with emotional hunger. So it's really going to help you learn whether you're truly hungry or not, or your brain is telling you that it wants comfort food. So usually with those 5 to 6 small meals a day, they are spaced out every 2 to 3 hours. So you're going to be able to get those nutrients in a more efficient manner by feeding small meals every 5 to 6 times a day instead of those 3 huge meals like we talked about earlier to help drive your metabolism. Another thing is, a lot of times your body is thirsty. It's not hungry, but we are dehydrated and we have trained ourselves to think that that means hunger pain. But really your body might just be thirsty. So you need to drink water. You need to make sure you're drinking that water and getting it in so that you can really recognize the difference between that. So your next, let's go to number 4. Your fourth clean eating principle is that you want to be able to have a combination of complex carbohydrates and protein at every meal. So every 5 to 6 times a day, every 5 to 6 meals, you want to, or every meal, sorry, not every 5 to 6, but you want to be able to have that combination. So the your complex carbohydrates are going to really be you have your starchy complex carbohydrates or your carbohydrates that are going to come from your fruits and vegetables. So your starchy carbohydrates, you only want to have about 2 a day, but the others are what you're going to fill the rest with. Those starchy carbohydrates are going to be like your brown rice, bananas and carrots are even starchy carbohydrates, parsnips, your sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, radishes, and your beans are all going to fit into that starchy carbohydrates. Another thing is oats. And then your complex carbohydrates are going to really be your fruits and your vegetables. Those ones that are healthy that you want to be feeding your body frequently. And so those are going to be, let me read you off these, and I will be posting all of this list it's actually already posted in the group on the 10 Clean Eating Principles file, so you can check that out. But your complex carbs that are from your fruits and vegetables, those are going to be like your apples, plums, berries, pears, tomatoes, cucumber, broccoli, asparagus, your dark leafy greens, Brussels sprouts, green beans, watermelon, zucchini, oranges. So really there's more, and the list just goes on, but it's all those good fruits and vegetables that you want to be feeding your body frequently. So before I got interrupted, we're talking about the simple carbs. You want to be able to avoid those simple carbs because those simple carbs are not going to feed your body the energy that it needs. It's those refined flours, the white flour and the sugar, that are just going to be empty calories into your body. And so your body's not going to be able to process that as well as it does those complex carbohydrates. Along with the carbohydrates, the complex carbohydrates, you also want to be able to have that protein every 5 to 6 times, every meal that you're having 5 to 6 times a day. And some of those good protein sources are going to include your eggs, your fish, your lean turkey, your tofu or tempeh, beans, quinoa, hummus is even a protein, and your protein powder if you want to use protein powder. Those are all sources of proteins, as well as more that obviously will be included in the files with that file I talked about. So you want to make sure that you're having that combination of your complex carbohydrate and your protein at every meal with that. A little thing about your simple carbohydrates is that's really, when you have your simple carbohydrates, that's spiking your blood pressure. So you're going to spike your blood pressure, and then your body is going to have those issues, especially if you're with the diabetes and stuff like that. Obviously, you need to consult your doctor. But those simple carbohydrates are just not good for your body in so many ways, spiking your blood pressure or spiking your blood sugar, all those things. So you want to be really careful with those. That's why we avoid those. So your next clean eating principle is going to be your fifth, and that is going to be that you need to eat a sufficient amount of healthy fats. There's always been that craze that you avoid fats, no fat, non-fat, low fat, those type things. But really your body needs to have those healthy fats for both your brain and your body to be able to function. It relies on those for a lot of the functions that it uses as well. So your healthy fats, those are going to be like your avocados, your seeds, your nuts, those healthy oils like your olive oil, coconut oil, you can get avocado oil, those healthy oils that you want to be using. You want to avoid some of those other oils like your vegetable oil and your canola oil, but stick to those healthy oils that will be in this source for you. Um, your number 6 clean eating principle is water. You need to drink 2 to 3 liters of water a day. A good measurement, they say, is you want to be able to take your body weight, divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking a day at least as your minimum. So make sure that you're getting in enough water. Your water helps to regulate your body temperature, it helps to keep your joints mobile, it helps to keep your tissues functioning well, and really you can't lose weight without having an adequate amount of water a day. Your body needs that to help flush out your system and to help keep your system going and use that energy to burn up those calories and keep going. So make sure you're getting your water in. Your metabolism actually, in this book that I'll recommend to you, the Tosca-Reno diet book, Clean Eating Diet book, you can get that on. It's a great source for your clean eating principles and such. That's where all these clean eating principles are from. But so in there it tells you actually that your metabolism, when you drink water that is cold ice water, your metabolism is actually increased by 30%, just because it's trying to be able to warm that water up to the same temperature as your body temperature so that you can actually process it. But your body is going to be able to burn more calories because it's driving your metabolism up to be able to warm that water up. So get your water cold. I mean, every little tiny thing helps, right? But get your water cold. Of course, who doesn't like their water cold versus warm? I love my water freezing cold. So, and next, it also helps to really reduce your food cravings and reduce your appetite when you're drinking your water. Like we said earlier, sometimes you're thirsty, you're not hungry, your body is just dehydrated, so make sure that you're drinking your water. It's good to recommend at least 2 cups of water a day, or 2 cups of water at every meal, to help you get that water intake in and to help your body be able to function properly and to be able to know that it's not dehydrated, and then you can tell the difference between thirsty and hungry. So your next clean eating principle is number 7. This clean eating principle is that you want to be able to meal prep. You want to be able, if you're working out of the home, to be able to have a cooler with you that is going to carry at least probably 3 meals a day for you, because you're going to be out of the home for that much amount of time during your day, and that's going to be about 3 meals. So a good thing is to make sure that you have a cooler that will fit 3 of your small meals a day in it, and to make sure that you have that clean eating food with you when you leave the house so that you're not tempted to be eating whatever is available, all the junk that's available in a vending machine or in the office at work or any of those things you need to eat out, something like that, but you have that clean eating food available ahead of time. So a really good easy way to get your meal prep in is to know that when you're making like 2 chicken breasts for your dinner or something, cook like 6 to 8 instead of 2, and then you have that many throughout your week that you can just stick in the Tupperware and take with you. So if you're cutting up your carrots or cooking your vegetables, cook a double or triple amount of it so you have that for extra meals, and then just stick it in containers and Tupperware, store it in your fridge, and then you have it the next day, easy to just take with you. So when you're doing those things, it really doesn't take that much time to chop up 5 to 6 carrots instead of 1, or to grill or bake 6 chicken breasts instead of 1 or 2. But then you already have that done throughout your day. Another thing that I love is crock pots. So I will stick like some chicken or a pork loin in my crock pot at the beginning of the week, and then I have that throughout the whole week to use for my meals. And that takes a huge load off my shoulders just by already having my protein, my meat done, because that takes a lot of time usually. So meal prepping is really going to help you with clean eating, so that you're not tempted to eat those other things that are just really readily available. So number 8, let's do 8 clean eating principle, is that you want to depend on your fresh fruits and vegetables for your fiber, your enzymes, your nutrients, and your vitamins. That's really where you want to get those nutrients that your body needs to be able to function. Instead of those empty calories that you get from, like, say, those little 100 calorie packs, we're not counting calories here. We're counting good nutrient-dense food. So you want to avoid those because they're usually full of empty calories and those simple starches and simple carbs that you really don't need for your body. But you want to be able to have your complex carbohydrates like we talked about. Those are your fresh fruits and vegetables that are going to fit into that category. And then to be able to really shop the perimeter of the grocery store, because when you start shopping in the aisles, that's when you run into all those boxed processed foods that are full of the empty calories. But stick to those things that are on the perimeter of your grocery store that are whole foods that really have less ingredients. So the least ingredients it has, is the better. So you want to be able to really, that's the healthiest way to be able to really get your fiber and your enzymes and your nutrients, is to get it through those fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's what your body really needs. So feed it what it really needs. Our next clean eating principle, number 9, is that you need to adhere to proper portion sizes. So a big issue for some of us is portion sizes. So I know, for example, for me, when with my spouse getting married, my husband is a bigger, burlier guy than me. Well, I'm a girl, obviously, but he, but it's not okay for me to be able to increase my portion sizes to fit what he's eating, because my body is smaller. My body doesn't need as much as he needs. Sometimes we get into that funk of thinking that, well, if they're eating that much, then I can eat that much too. But really, you need to be able to know how much your body needs through the size of your body and through, so say that it's a small petite girl versus a big burly guy. That big burly guy is going to need more calories and more in his diet than that small petite girl is going to need in her diet. So a good way to be able to do this without having to really measure out your portions, because we all don't really like portion measuring everything, and to mention that you can't really, it's hard to find that measurement that fits everyone's body. So a good way is to use your hands. So when you're figuring out your portion sizes, you want to be able to know that your protein is going to be the palm of your hand. And then your starchy carbs, those are the ones that you're just having 2 times a day from your complex carbohydrates. That's going to be 1 cupped hand. So you want it to be able to fit in 1 cupped hand. Your complex carbohydrates, that are your fruits and your vegetables that are high in your water content, not starchy, you are going to be able to have 2 hands cupped together for that. For your healthy fats, in this book, it actually recommends a scant handful, is what it says. So I like to think of that as not really saying like, well, I'm going to stick my fist in there and grab a huge handful, that my hand's bursting out, but just to grab a few in your handful and to kind of have a scant there. So that's a really good measurement for you to know throughout this journey of how much your body really needs. So to be able to use those hands and use those eye measurements, and eventually it will get second nature to knowing kind of what your body needs and what it doesn't need. Your next, this is number 10, your next clean eating principle is going to be avoiding those overly processed foods. So like we said, the ones in the aisles of the grocery store, you want to be able to stick to foods that have an ingredient list of like 1 or 2 ingredients. Those whole natural foods. Not those fake foods, not those anti-foods, but those whole, real, natural foods. So those are going to be your fruits and your vegetables, and those things that have the least amount of ingredients in them are really going to nourish your body in a healthy way and be able to help your body process that. So when you're eating those, any kind of food with more than 1 or 2 ingredients, a lot of times it's going to be empty calories. So your body's not getting what it actually needs, and so it's going to keep saying, feed me more, because it doesn't get the nutrients it actually needs. So really feed your body those nutrients that are going to have 1 or 2 ingredients in them instead of more than that. Okay, as you can all see, I have a partner here that really can't bear to not be on video with me, so we're going to finish it out together. But avoid those overly processed foods. So you want to focus on those real foods that only have the 1 or 2 ingredients in them. So those are going to be your nutrient-dense foods. And a lot of times those have less calories in even more volume than you can have in something that contains those simple carbs or something that has over 1 or 2 ingredients in it. So don't eat those anti-foods, but eat those real foods that you know are going to nourish your body. So those are your clean eating principles. To go over them really quick again, you have number 1 is to eat more. You need to eat 5 to 6 small meals a day, and they're going to be spaced at 2 to 3 hour intervals. Number 2 is to eat breakfast every day. Eat it within an hour of rising, so that your body has that to drive your metabolism. Number 3, make your last meal 3 hours before bedtime so that your body has time to use that energy up. Number 4, eat a combination of lean protein and complex carbohydrates at each meal. Number 5, eat sufficient healthy fats every day. Your body needs those fats. Number 6, drink 2 to 3 liters of water each day. Use that water to help drive your body and your metabolism and to help you know real hunger versus emotional hunger. 7, carry a cooler packed with clean foods each day or meal prep. Have those with you so that you're not tempted for other non-nutrient-dense foods. Yeah, keep that down, please. Number 8, you want to depend on your fresh fruits and vegetables for your fiber, your vitamins, your nutrients, and your enzymes. Number 9, adhere to proper portion sizes. And number 10, eat only the foods that have not been overly processed. The ones, you want to stick to the ones on the perimeter of your grocery store. The other ones have chemicals and they have saturated or trans fats or toxins in them that your body can't process. So those are your 10 clean eating principles. Look in the files of the group for this document that'll help you. And then thank you for listening and being patient with me through this video. And I'm so excited to get started. So we will go with that. Bye.